Yo, this feature list is nuts. Nigga just wrote down the list of all the best active rappers and just threw all of them on the project. Everybody on this thing, I had to check the feature list, make sure I ain't have a verse on it. But yeah, Statik Selektah is a producer capable of really making some magic happen with these artists. He's quietly one of the more underrated producers right now. He really embodies that East Coast and that boom bap aesthetic. But I will say his production style is a little bit more polished than a lot of the newer 90s East Coast influence producers. He's good at playing with different textures. He's good at incorporating samples with live instruments. And then most of all, he's really good at adapting his style to the artists who he's working with, which is going to be important because he has a really diverse set of features on this one. You got vets, legends, coke rappers, guys with a little more mainstream reach, a couple bums. But we going to get through that. Let's see what they do. Oh, this beat is a vibe. The scratching is a dope touch.
Bittersweet blessings, condolences, and congrats. In the same sentence where my life learns the lesson. I cry quiet, so the knot in my chest is hard to untie it. Thankfully, the heart keeps pressing.
That's a good descriptive opener. I like the fact that they started this album out with a True Boy tribute. Pod sound like he finna do it justice.
Turn tickets so the pieces of our heart, I guess up we're left to
return ticket round
His
trip.
round trip journey returned him to the source. So most would think we've been derailed off the course, but no matter how sad, the fire in our eyes can't be doused out. But tears 30 plus years will back us.
That's tough. Fire in our eyes can be doused out with tears.
My imperfect picture put the filter in its place, so I look the same on your phone and face to face.
I love the little picture imagery that he used right there.
Remember the birth date, 88 step between the scenes, sorta like a hyphen and run off your hype man. We learn through the problems we see.
It's been super subtle, but he's had some dope wordplay in here. I like that hyphen line because the line before he mentioned True Boy's birthday, and then he said step between like a hyphen, which is a play on, even though he didn't mention like on the tombstone you had the birthday, he didn't mention the date of death, but you can tell because of the context of the song that that's what he was referring to.
And the gift of life gives you a timeline, and like a tightrope you gotta walk.
See, now the timeline is playing into the hyphen line.
Never feel submerged in greed if someone gives me my flowers and I rather the seeds. Once again, I'll never feel submerged in greed if someone gives me flowers when I rather the seeds.
Yeah, R.I.P. True Boy, they really did him justice with that song. Pods had a dope verse, which really came off like a poem or really a eulogy too. He played really heavy into this round trip theme. He set the tone saying that life was a round trip back into the earth. But then I love how he brought it full circle, no pun intended, with those last couple lines where he's talking about going back into the ground and being submerged in the earth and then planting seeds. He also had a really subtle like tightrope balance theme from start to finish. At first he was talking about not getting derailed, and then he had a balance line, tightrope line, and that was a subtle theme that he had going throughout. A lot of good wordplay, and then love the overall messaging of the song. The beat was super smooth. I like those keys, had some nice strings in the background, and man, he could have did a whole outro with those horns. But I thought with that smooth jazzy vibe of it, that was a perfect backdrop for Pods to rap over. Dope opener. I'd be surprised if the rest of the songs play into the same round trip theme, but even if they completely abandoned that, they did it justice. This is a story with Ransom AZ.
Had to speak on my behalf, and half of these niggas ain't said a thing. I had this dream that I put a wedding ring on Coretta King. Was murdered on the stage, you could feel the pain it forever brings.
Murder on the stage playing to the Martin Luther King reference.
It's funny, I can spot a bum in a Beamer and a boss in a Honda. You know my style, I don't force the entendres. So if it's beef, gotta be Kobe. Snakes get ate when they cross in this mamba. These fake niggas get forced on the genre, but it's really not much.
That was hard. I like when bars break like the fourth wall, where they'll reference the bar while they're in the bar. He said he don't stretch his entendres, then he had a couple of entendres right there after that. Beef, Kobe, Kobe beef, and then Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba, Snake. Come on, man.
These fake niggas get forced on the genre, but it's really not much to judge if niggas budge when it's talks of your honor.
It's a slanted 5-syllable rhyme scheme right here.
Toes down, I'm solid. Young Wallace, some acknowledge I'm more modest when the drum's melodic. None symbolic
right
before or after. All was mastered. The cyanide and boric acid. Order they carry the blind. Been about it, been nostalgic. Retired now, but not the one to be found with.
I mean, that was alright. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. Ransom verse was like the best player in the league, dropping 18 points. Like, you'll take 18 points from most players in the NBA, but if like Giannis or Lukah drop 18, they had an off night. Ransom's rhyme schemes were technically good, but they weren't on par with anything that he had on his album that came out 2 weeks ago. I think Ransom's probably the best puncher in the game, but he didn't really have that many standout lines. The Kobe double entendre was probably the best thing he said. I did like that I can spot a bomb in a Beamer and a rich dude in a Honda, whatever he said right there. But other than that, it wasn't nothing stand out. I hate to tell y'all this, but AZ is like Linsanity. That nigga had one great run and that was it. I hate to break it to y'all. Nigga dropped one of the best verses on the greatest album of all time on Illmatic. Then Do or Die was good, but outside of that, what are we hanging on to? Decent verse, good rhyme schemes, but absolutely nothing stand out from him, in my humble opinion. Statik did his part. This was a good beat. I don't think it fit either one of their aesthetics. Maybe it fits AZ aesthetic a little bit better, but that's not where Ransom sounds the best, which is weird because that's better than most of the production Ransom raps on. But yeah, decent song, but it had an opportunity to be a lot better because Ransom is arguably top 1 rapper right now, but definitely top like 3 or 5. This is different lead with Benny the Butcher and Termanology.
A lot of shit be on my brain. I don't even talk about it. The Butcher coming.
I was wondering if he's gonna make the beat more polished or have it spooky sounding. I like that he went with a spookier type beat.
This for all of my day ones who never gossip across me. You know I think about some wild shit sometimes when I'm saucy. Think most of us are pawn they soul for a spot at the Grammys. And these hoes just want surgery from Dr. Miami. But we don't got.
That's a funny line, but for like once in the history of this channel, I'm gonna refrain from making a joke out of respect for the DTV on Fly Baby Mama situation.
There's niggas that's home that probably live better in jail. And if terms like Larry Bird, I get some Kevin McHale. It's like my whole city wire. Every block got a camera. Traps got rooms for smokers and spots for the samplers. Pots on my hammer and card tables. Spots for the gamblers. Guns with red beams on them, not for no amateurs. Still fucking with the same shooters. Arm out the window, barrel on a bulldog. Smoking like Eddie Kane Jr.
Black hoodie down, I ain't worried about designer with the wolves and piranhas. Lead the product to the mamas. Got the product from white.
He killing this alliteration with this I sound right here. That's tough.
Got the perm activated, yeah, term got some haters. I was present when they invented the word calculator.
How's that a brag?
Fuck a beat that list, cause he not lit. I never seen him in the streets, plus he never seen a brick.
As much as I don't like B-Dot's list, I don't think the issue is Termanology not being on them.
Every week, bagging up till my hands got sore. Half a key, like you broke your shit off in the door. I'm a monster. I should be...
That's hard. I'm surprised nobody said that punch before, but that is hard. Half a key, half a kilo, you broke it off in the door. Feel for everybody who that's happened to, but that's a hard bar.
Cross, God's favorite. When I die, you see cracks in the pavement. Relax, cause I made it. Fuck rap, got me jaded.
Oh, Termanology turned up on that one. I think he had a better verse out of the two. He carried the song slightly because I was thinking it was cool when Benny was rapping. Benny had a good verse that started a little bit slow, but he picked it up. He got into some better rhyme schemes, and then his street imagery was pretty sick on the second half of his verse. Termanology turned up though. His delivery super emphatic. Rhyme schemes might have even been better than Benny, which is crazy because Benny is a wizard when it comes to syllables. Termanology also had the best line of the song with the half a key like it got broke off in a door line. I think the beat was cool from Statik. I like the first 2 beats better. He definitely tried to give Benny a beat that plays into his wheelhouse, but I think the issue was it sounded like an odd mix of grimy and polished. To me, I think it was because the drums were too polished. It sounded really punchy when I think they should have had a more boom bap feel like the drums on the first couple of songs. That piano sample was pretty dope though. Good song, still got Round Trip as the best, but this is behind it. This is Can't Stop with Stove God Cook, Symba, and Nina Sky.
No more powder, just the plastic from the bricks. And we burn every one, they won't connect us back to this. With a connect in the wrist, I turned 36 to bliss. With the drought, I went mellow for the Knicks. No assist, no assistance. Every gram of the
That's tough. In the drought, he didn't get no assistance from his plug. And then mellow for the Knicks went passing nothing. I was hard.
Up before they hit him, he said he was gonna shoot, didn't he? You ain't really had that chopper, Fendi. Block of fentanyl, the hood in a frenzy. Mix it with the dog food, let your friends eat. Bullets through the Benz Jeep, get with me. I got it for the low hand and Lindsay.
Yo, drop this nigga album. He's going off. Where's this album at? Nigga is losing his mind right now. Matter of fact, let this nigga get a duet. Let me hear Stove God vocals too.
He don't value life no more. He got shot in his pelvis. He can't even fuck his wife no more. His wife left him for a nigga that sold him white before. He tryna drill something. He ain't tryna fight no more. That's why he loading up. Used to be quick with his...
These niggas storytelling is different. I don't really know nothing about Symba outside of his freestyles, but every time I heard him rap, every bar come off heavy. He's just dropping gem after gem, but the storytelling right here is sick.
Last week he seen old boy in traffic, but he froze up. Said the next time he seen him, he gon' let his guns bust. But look what we have here.
Hard. This is Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic both dropping a triple-double in the same game. Stove God, man, that was... I ain't trying to be too dramatic, but that might be the best verse he dropped since Reasonable Drought. The way he started off the verse, I thought I was finna get coat residue in the camera. No more powder, just a rapper. That Carmelo Anthony line was insane. Then he started getting into the grimy storytelling. And then I think that last line when he said they caught the dude and he froze up, it sounded like him and Symba were telling the same story from two different perspectives. Symba rapped from the perspective of the dude who froze up. In that line where Stove God Cook said they caught him, he was supposed to be shooting at us, but he froze up because the guy was supposed to be shooting was the drug dealer. I think that's what was going on, and if it was, song's even more sick than I'm giving it credit for. Symba had this straight storytelling. I like his delivery too. I did not know I needed this collaboration between the two of them, but they sounded amazing together. I rock with that beat as well. The strings were the primary part of the melody, but I really like all the different layers to it, those pianos, and then I'm not sure what that sample was. It kind of sounded like a reverbed horn, but whatever was under both the strings and the keys, I think that's what really made the beat. Drum sounded good. Fire song. This is Ain't Too Much To It. Conway need to redeem himself. After that, won't he do it?
Raw in the pot, baking soda, I'm on my 4th box. Whip it till my wrist sore. Don't give a fuck, a nigga 5'2" or 6'4". I get ticked off, 2-piece, I'm in wire his jaw.
The keys was already OD with the vocal samples coming in. Ugh.
Bay Tiger, Rafe Rider. Catch the niggas that was talking and burn them with AK fire. I don't know how I'll be in the bum field. Knew he was already slumped, fuck it, I emptied out the drum still.
Yo, this nigga's back in his bag. He was trying to use the power of positivity in that Pain Provided Profit joint with Jay Skis, and then he was all over the place on Won't He Do It. But this grimy imagery right here, this was Conway at his best. The I knew it slumped, then empty out the mag steel line. Ugh.
If you knew better, then you do it, bitch. It ain't too much to it.
What in the chat GPT was that chorus?
Started hustling during Bush Sr., got rich by Obama. Ran up in them traps with them straps like they came for Osama. So when the pressure got applied, we ain't run from no drama. Just give us what we came for, or get to stick to yo. Now look, man, I am a...
That's fire. You know how much awareness it takes to do a line like that? Like the way he led us to mama without having to say mama, with both the rhyme scheme and the context.
And I can take it hard or soft, cause I can cook, man. So when...
Pause.
Now, matter of fact, take off the jewelry and the shoes. I need that iced out Cuban link and them Chicago twos. Now run it.
I mean, I'm already offending everybody anyway. The tools is an ugly shoe, dog. Imagine somebody pulling out an armed robbery on you for some tools. Like, you should be leaving those outside for just niggas to walk up and take.
I ain't gotta do shit but stay black and die. Trying to get rich as a motherfucker and stay fly, God. I'm from the west side. Guns are like
oh, that's fire. That's hard. He gotta stay fly God, fly comma God. But then West Side Gun, it's the fly guy. Then he had the West Side Gun ad-lib. Then he had a West Side Gun flip on the next line.
Always a couple round, like Dayton. Unc had the 6 tray on Dayton's. Detectives pull up, no prints, no gloves. Just a John Doe and a pair of Gary Paytons. Good times.
He said no gloves. Just a John Doe and some Gary Paytons. Gary Payton was the glove. This nigga is fire.
If y'all ballin', then I'm on the wrong court. You David and Goliath's only 5'9". But you ain't bring your slingshot this time, so you don't want no problem at all, little guy.
No problem at all, tall. Come on.
How the fuck you make a long story short?
That's fire.
No need to read between.
That's fire. Long story short, playing a David Goliath line.
Don't be a slave to a clock. Bust it down or keep it plain Jane. In time you'll find it'll all come back the same thing. Just watch.
Oh, this nigga is in his bag. Just watch.
1 minute you circling the block, niggas catch you off your square.
Block square.
The next minute you in a box.
Nah, dog, that's all different. That song different. The beat was hard. That piano sample was great. And then I like those drums too. Outside of the chorus, which I don't know why like they couldn't just scratch on the chorus, but niggas got busy. I think Bun B's verse was third best, but he was still dope. He had a lot of dope storytelling. I thought the Obama, George Bush, Osama line to start the verse was pretty witty. Conway's verse, dog, that was just vintage Conway with the gritty imagery, dope rhyme scenes like he always does. I thought he was gonna have a verse that wouldn't be top, but dog, Absol? The wordplay was just nuts. Like I said, that was vintage Conway, that was vintage Absol. I wasn't a huge fan of that Herbert album. I thought that in order for him to express himself and have a more personal album, he shied away from what made him an elite rapper, which is his super witty wordplay. It was here on this song. The West Side Gun flip, disgusting. That time watch wordplay that he ended the song with. And then it's the way that he extends his wordplay. He'll have one witty punch here, and then he'll take that and use it in the next line, like what he did with the square block wordplay. Song was sick. Album starting to heat up. This is unpredictable with all the best niggas in Wu-Tang except for G-Eazy.
Cashmere peacoat, fella caught a fortune on casino. Wigging out, I'm giving out free smoke. Hater love to doubt ace. I live in the kitchen baking pound cakes. Supreme clientele, never clout chase. Global mogul, ex-lover, I ain't trying to hold you. Watch me gain power like I changed in the phone booth.
Nigga, Inspectah Deck is going off. Bro, he is spazzing right now. Like, I'm telling you niggas, it's G-Eazy, Raekwon, Deck. Ghost is not finna outbar this nigga. He's not. Because if he does, I'm definitely editing this out.
I'm still worth Millyz on the bus down, so savage. Total my average, that's ghost status. Addicts, feeling for these lines, that's a coke habit.
Yo, ghost lethal, like the diamonds on the handle on a Desert Eagle. I pop like an old record with a thin needle. I
like that line. Y'all know how the records be popping, the old ones.
In Hebrew, back the fuck up. I'll catch a bullhead we call Onyx. Once in a while, get my dick.
I like back the F up, playing into the Onyx line.
Had 1,000 wallows on the cover of my debut. Daytona 500 in a Babe Ruth. 95, the first nigga with a Jesus.
Was it better than Deck's verse? No. But was it fire? Absolutely.
Fire sour with gasoline burners, light up. Any microphone in the mix get lit right up. Kip power, everything is sell for a sick dollar. Crashing up Cullinan's Royce, give me a holler. Yo, the greatness, sorta like tapes in the Matrix.
Vibe with you, I side with you. This is my scripture. Next to greatness is my picture. I don't like pictures, but trick a finger, just my pick.
Yo, this 3-syllable is fire.
Life in them guys with you can die with you. I'm a fly figure. Net worth in the 9 figures. Like I'm money hungry. Lick my finger counting my funds. Take a finger from me, well then I'ma count on my thumb. Or count on my accountant when I'ma counting my ones.
That count wordplay is sick. Dog, it's crazy we getting this fire of a Wu track in 2023. Niggas went 4 for 4, no Wendy's meal. I think it was a good beat, and I think it fit the Wu-Tang aesthetic pretty good. And of course, them niggas had a dope chemistry together. If I had to rank those verses, gotta go Inspectah Deck. He floated, he went off. I think Method Man and Raekwon were neck and neck. I like Raekwon's imagery, and I like Method Man's rhyme schemes. I'll go Meth over Raekwon, and then I'll go Ghost, but I thought all of them niggas went off. That's a fire song. Statik's used piano samples from start to finish was another good one here. I like the pacing of the album because this is a more up-tempo beat too. That was sick. This is Life and Times with Joey.
Woke in my purpose, my soul way too valuable to purchase. My gift the same thing that my curse is. It's like a double-edged sword. The way these thoughts hold in my mental, it feels like I'm in a psych ward.
Hey, this is Rap 101. If you want to be a conscious rapper, you gotta pronounce sword as sword. Like, that's the rules. And I guess since I gotta like review the music, I like the imagery on this internal conflict that he's describing.
I close my eyes and start to wonder why a few of us drive, and most of us is out here barely surviving, products of our environment or victims to what we believe.
I don't know why this nigga's voice is mixed like he talking through a jail phone, but this nigga is going right now.
Seeds, water your trees and shine light on this leaves. Life is full of seasons and we all face winners. So when it get cold is when you gotta go inner. Something to remember next time you in December. Cause when it get dark is when you see them stars glimmer. And I'll never let them dim them.
When it get dark is when you see the stars glimmer. That's simple, but I like that a lot.
You could choose to waste it or take it by the rain. So when it's said and done, you make them remember your name, nigga.
The rain line play into the season scheme that he had a little bit earlier.
Or the current that you up against is what you battling lost. In the middle of the sea and seeing nothing, of course, that'll make you want to toss yourself off.
What Joey doing right now, this is what I applied to Absol for in the last song. He did that season scheme in the first verse, and now he's doing it with this like paddling current, stream, water scheme right now.
Somewhere between keeping the G and philosophical, them spiritual dugging. In the shoe and I verse, I got a lot to pull. My demons mean mugging, but to me it means nothing.
The imagery of my demons mean mugging is fire.
Since I was a kid, I always knew I'd be something. They was on Front Street while I was really hustling.
Hey, niggas been delivering on these last couple of songs. These two have a really dope chemistry. They just work really well together. They know their strengths. And Statik Selektah is great at giving Joey the perfect canvas for him to rap over. And so he's back to those mellow keys. Drums were paced well. And that was two really sick verses. It was just this perfect mix of isolation, balance, optimism, and then when you have those witty schemes like the season scheme and the water scheme, but you can feel the internal conflict oozing off every line. It was dope to hear it end triumphantly. That was a dope one. This is Droppin Bodies with Millyz.
Out in public cause hysteria. It's pistols in my area. Cause this life keep getting scarier the more we break down barriers. I'm popping rich fools. Think about the 4 towns, performing rhymes. 40 heaters grill up like the Foreman kind. We born in crime.
I mean, George Foreman grill flip. That's a little basic, but I love the flow. Back to back 3-syllable rhyme schemes. Tough.
Dice rollers, chip stackers, poker faces get splattered. Risk takers, I can show you what it takes to be a lit rapper.
Risk taker line playing to the poker line.
Politics, the suckers, and whoever don't acknowledge it. I'm hot as Boldy get in the summer, lighting a ganja slip.
This is another fire alliteration with this ah sound. Hey, in English majors, I know the vowel is called assonance, but in rap they just call all of it alliteration. Like how nobody says similes in rap, we just call them metaphors. Let me rock.
I had an eyeball to work like vision doctors. I can see straight through these suckers cause my vision's proper. Handgun with a switch on it, that shit sound like a helicopter.
That song was good. I don't think it was on par with, let's call it the last 4 songs on here, but it was still pretty good. I do like the beat, the drum sounded crisp, and I like how airy and bright that sample was. Had this shimmery vibe to it. I liked Milly's first verse better than the second one. Both of them were fine until he got to like the last 6 bars, and then I don't know what he was doing with them last like 3 or 4 punchlines. Pretty good rhyme schemes though. He had a couple standout punches, so that was solid. This is different with the Annie Up niggas and Cormega.
Never catch me styling with a lot of people.
Hey, these niggas don't have no inside voice.
Nothing I could do. What you do? I learned how to walk up out of them dark tunnels alone. I love being a great. It's fucked up how people get judged for being real and love for being fake.
Years soaking in fear, choking as the town cheer for the hero. Mad cause your drive is on zero. What you do? Become the reason for the mural on the wall so his kid can see. Everybody loved him but you. His
heights. Remember the lowest points that built you. What don't kill you make you stronger. Even if it takes longer, be patient. Today is yesterday, tomorrow pay it back to the creator. Every day is borrowed.
Yeah, Statik could have kept that one. Look, man, this channel is a meritocracy. Niggas be saying verses is fire just because niggas is legends. I mean, not that I think M.O.P are legends. Annie Up is legendary. I don't think Cormega is a legend either. But like, these were the 3 lightest verses outside of another old nigga, AZ. Look, this is not old niggas. Hey, I'm an old nigga. And all the Wu-Tang niggas went off, but like, these verses is light. Like, first verse had a lot of hop on pop rhyme schemes. Second verse was the best verse on this song. Rhyme schemes a little bit more technically sound. And they did have some content rapping about like the current rap climate and culture. Cormega's verse was pretty good, except for like his flow got a little choppy at the end. His rhyme schemes were the best here, but they got a little sloppy. And then the beat was fine, but it sounds a little redundant coming off of the heels of Droppin Bodies because the beats had really similar vibes to them. Oh yeah, whatever. This is Lionhearted with Elzhi and Boldy James. That's sick.
Never judge a book by its cover with the concealed weapon.
Oh, this reverse sample source is so trippy.
Either my flow rewind clock, back or it's ahead of its time, and I'm trying to find Doc's lavatory.
I like this is ahead of its time, rewind clock flip.
You don't want the smoke, it's like Snoop lit a joint in the coupe with Dr. Dre bumping Chronic a block away. They try to trap a dragon in the house of cards, spitting fire highly frail, and I'll provide detail. I poke holes through his facade and swung the sword side to side until the body fell.
His rhyme schemes are crazy, and then we throw the alliteration on top of it, niggas floating.
When I spoke this, I blacked out who I'm sonning. That's very locust and booked out like Egypt with the locust. A Moses staff against the hocus pocus. From the brokers to the riches, I spit glitches in your matrix, causing damage that you can't fix.
Yo, that Moses scheme was so hard. He had several tie-ins to the Moses story where God sent the plagues, because locust was a plague. He had a firstborn line, that was a plague. He had some line about blacking out, like there was a darkness plague. Then the staff hocus pocus line, those were other things that tied into the story. That was sick, and that was a lot in a short amount of bars.
If we met, probably never noticed you. Send a hit, get a quotable, nothing personal. But I don't wanna have to feel shit standing over you. You never touch shit that don't belong to you.
I kind of like this flow, but Boldy kind of tight walking the beat. He teetering off a tad bit.
BB King got up in blues and spazzed out everybody strip. You too, bitch, take that shit off. He better not flinch your car and even make it to his prime.
Off his grimy.
You gon' send him off in fast, spin him off and smash, take him off the map after we rinse him off and splash.
I was tough. We back on track. I like how different this beat sound compared to a lot of the other production. That reverse sample source was sick. Elzhi had one of the better verses on the album. His rhyme schemes, the technical rapping from him might be the best on this album up to this point. Just on rhyme schemes alone, it's between him, Deck, and Method Man. Nigga is also like the king of slick brags. He had them laced all through his verse. Boldy James had a verse that I wanted to love, but I just kind of liked it. His street talk was sick, and I like what he was going for with the flow, but this flow was just straight up off beat at certain points, especially in the beginning of the verse. Not his strongest showing, but I think the Elzhi verse and the beat was good enough to make up for it. This is the new Joe with Nems. Interesting.
Yeah, there is a new Fat Joe. His name Nems out of Coney Island.
Y'all, I'm an idiot. I say interesting because I was thinking Nems, like the singer. This is Nems. I'm tripping. Not that I want to hear Nems, but...
I pay dues, I spray crews, look up Gorilla Nems. My squad deeper than the jewels on Marcy. I'm hard beat, rip apart beats. Fuck around, I smack the baby out of your car seat. Give a fuck about networking and taking pictures. I just care about my net worth and naked bitches. If you saw what we did, then you would hate the kiss. She just wants the dick when I call and says maybe rich.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would expect from a Nems song. I don't hate it, I don't love it. The rapping was fine. His aggressive delivery to go along with the aggressive content is cool. I think the rapping was just a little basic and one-dimensional. I was just like, yeah, that's hard, but nothing stand out there. Beat was pretty good though. I like that vocal sample in it. This is One for Ages with the God Fahim.
Respect is earned, take the crown, this is one for ages. And I don't plan on slowing down, cause we chasing greatness. Another day, another chance that I got to make it. They ain't wanna give it up, so we had to take it. About face, I'm seeing dollar signs in my vision. But don't be blinded by the dollar signs, keep the vision. And if you can't take the heat, then get up out.
Yo, the God Fahim's like the arch nemesis of this channel. I just don't think he's that good of a rapper, and it wouldn't be that bad if M.O.P fans weren't trying to bully me into liking him. But like, this is 2-syllable rapping, no punchlines, no internal rhymes, and then the cherry on top is he just rhymed vision with vision.
Now I'm the one putting them on notice. My head up, remain focused. Get my bread up, then make toasts.
Bread toast, decent.
Grind like I got 5 jobs, been qualified since the days of iPods.
Okay.
While you boys try hard.
Okay. There goes some internals. All right, here we go.
Keep the weapon cocked, rocking treasure rocks, dumping non-stop, cooking up, bring some extra pots, watch them line up. Ain't no need for no extra stops. We got hip-hop, find us.
Hey man, if you like the God Fahim, I don't see why you wouldn't like that song. That sounds like most of his songs. If you care about lyricism, I don't see why you would like that song. He picked it up about halfway through a little bit. He used 2-syllable rhyme schemes from start to finish. I say like 1-syllable rhyming is insulting. 2-syllable is basic unless you're doing it really back to back. Like take what Inspectah Deck did in the opening of his verse. And then 3-syllable, that's kind of the gold standard of what you want to rap at, especially if you're not going to use internal rhymes. I mean, he had one like semblance of a punch with that bread toast wordplay, and if you like positive gem dropping bars, I don't think anything was that thought-provoking, so that's why I said gem dropping in quotes. Then whatever, but I just don't get it. Pretty good beat. It wasn't the most entertaining beat to me, but it wasn't bad at all. Song's not for me. This is Right Here with Marco Plus and Kota the Friend. They put all the alright spitters right next to each other, huh?
I puff exotics while I touch deposits. God body money maker, I'm such a prophet. Fuck the cops and suckers watching.
Even though it's 2 syllables, he's rapping the word like 4 times within a line. So then you're at the point where most of the words are rhyming, even though it's just a 2-syllable rhyme scheme. I rock with this rhyme scheme right here.
Lead a man. I'm John Wick, you guys are Peter Pan. Bring it to your crib just like a piece of man. I'm 5'10", but my aura is giant. Never follow rules, I'm sort of defiant. Aggressive, bordering violent, but only if a nigga showing.
That was a sick 5-syllable right there. He's playing with the syllables.
Get it whack, it triggers me back to the basics. Slashing rap niggas' faces. The cut worse, the faster the blade is. Crashing abrasive. You niggas better duck down. I swear to God, I send the buckshot of Statik, okay?
That was fire. That was fire. I didn't like none of these lines. I like the flow of them and I like the rhyme scheme, even though the flow is a little offbeat at times. If you use your imagination and picture the beat being a little bit faster, flow would be flawless. But my criticism was going to be he didn't have any standout lines. But dog, that duck down scheme, buckshot, Statik, that's tough.
They tryna be something, I'm on my own shit. They tryna be runners, I'm tryna own shit. Them niggas is fumbling with a loan shark, saying that they real niggas really on some faux shit.
That didn't even rhyme.
I'm with the fam, you running to where the fans at. When I'm in the hood, I'm good, nigga, you ran that. Phone wallet keys like you leaving the crib. You can talk real tough, but we see what you did.
I rock with that one. I actually rock with a lot more than I would think just looking at this feature list. Not familiar with Marco Plus. I'm not a huge fan of Kota the Friend. He has some dope songs, but he's not the best rapper in my opinion. But I thought his verse was good. He played to his strengths, had this laid back flow, crisp flow. Wasn't the most technical rapping, but he just floated on the beat. Marco Plus, his flow was a little bit off beat, but I like what he was going for. His technical rapping was actually really solid. The beat was fire. I like the drums. It sounded like a classic like break beat, but the punchiness of it gives it this modern feel. Lush pianos. He's been really on top of picking out these piano samples. I rock with that one. This is Limbo with Russ.
I jumped off the cliff with my doubts and now I'm falling in dollars. Turn my mom and her daughter into professional shoppers. I didn't make the NBA, but I still became a baller. Bitches false, I delegate and command. Won't hesitate if they can't. Demonstrate that they can. Trying to fly as high as Elvis, let it be grace when I land. Cause everybody comes down. I just don't wanna shake, rattling. I was the bad apple and the lemon on my family tree. Now I'm in Miami Beach with Scott Storch and Timbo. This is where the bar's at. Everyone's doing limbo.
The bars, everybody doing Limbo. That's another solid track from a rapper who's not one of my favorites. I like how he used the xylophone on this. This was a break from the keys, which has been prevalent on pretty much every other track. And then I like the bass line as well. Russ used a really creative flow. This wasn't a typical flow that I would expect for a beat of this tempo, and it really worked here. His rhyme schemes were actually pretty crisp. They weren't the best on this album, but they were good for sure. Content-wise, he got pretty personal, and then he had a couple of witty punches in there. The best one being the bad apple and the lemon of his family tree. Not the best song on here, but it was solid. This is The Code with Reuben, Vincent, Streetz, and Lukah No Doncic.
Better protection, tell me it's Christ or a weapon. From Genesis to Exodus, they pray on you with prejudice. Street on knees, felonies, send like melodies to heaven. Short life, expect to see travel in 7 seas. I question, who gon' blasphemy when blasphemy come? The prodigal point.
Y'all, enough's enough. We can't stand for this no more. If I hear one more blasphemy flip,
they coming, but we living by the now. We'll rise, turn the rivers to bloods and water became foul. Child.
Hey, that's hard. There was a Moses Red Sea flip early in this album. This was another one, but it's dope because he has this biblical theme. He's relating the streets to the Bible.
They split us with red and sea. If it ain't blue, they reppin' beat. So it's
red and sea, red sea. That was a direct flip in that play into that bar.
Street scholar, fuck school. I made the narcotic honor roll. Plot the clock, the chicken. All of you cornballs is comical.
I like that narcotic honor roll line, but Streetz really mastered the alliteration game. I think he does it the best, bar none right now. But what he's doing with that R sound is dope.
With the pen, I wrote all my curses in cursive. My dark fantasy turned to a brighter reality. I made away some didn't cause they lusted living lavishly.
Hey, for all the grammar people I took a shot at earlier, that was an actual alliteration because he used the L sound, lusted living lavishly.
The door to my destiny was closed until I grabbed the key. Would've kicked the shit off for the hinges if it had to be.
The door was closed, I had to keep it. I would've kicked the door in. I like that imagery.
And now you see me, then you don't. Movements were extra ghostly. Would never rush to make a play, cause bosses move slowly. Before the moon rock, I had a moonwalking like Jackson. Yeah, I'm a hustler. I can sell a beat into a Jackson. One puff, I guarantee full satisfaction.
Jay-Z, of course, had the most iconic I can sell a blank to a blank line, but selling a beat into a Jackson is crazy.
Up off my ass, it made sense. Lights off, you need to get a bag.
That was a good song. We've gotten a lot of pianos on this beat, so it was good hearing a different instrument being at the forefront because those horns sounded great. We got a lot of lyrical focus from all three guys. I do think Streetz and Reuben Vincent were a notch above Lukah. I will say though, I had the lowest expectations for Lukah, and he did impress me a little bit. The issue I really had with his verse is the technical rhyming was a little basic. He was using mostly 2-syllable rhymes. He flashed a couple 3-syllable rhyme schemes in there, but the thing that kind of saved his and separated from, like, say, the God Fahim verse is he took the same rhyme scheme from the start of his verse to like 16 bars in, and then he only switched to one more rhyme scheme outside of that. And then that first Moni rhyme scheme, he would throw in an extra syllable to make it a 3-syllable at certain points, and he didn't do that a bunch. But I love his lyrical focus. His storytelling and imagery was dope. He had a couple witty lines in there too. Streetz, I thought his verse was great because the technical rhyming, this wasn't even his best. Like, pretty much every verse on his own project from earlier this year was better than this one. Like, he normally can get really crazy with the internal rhyme schemes, but he was dope, vivid, and it stuck to the code theme of the song. I thought Reuben Vince's verse was the most creative. Same thing, rapping about the street life, but the way that he interweaved it with this Bible scheme, I thought that was really dope. Since God is a forgiving God, I guess I'll forgive him for that blasphemy line, but I thought he had a dope verse overall. Pretty good song. And the other thing I mentioned is I don't think this aesthetic fits Streetz that great. He would have sounded much better on one of those like boom bap beats from early in the album, but he did sound fine. This is Got to Give with redveil.
And I ain't polishing my shit, I'm living clear, unapologetic and I'm here. The day to show I got away with words again, my brother heard gon' be my motherfucking favorite urge. Don't know what day I splurge, I can't be giving in until that work done. Niggas be getting behind that mic acting like they gon' hurt some shit. I've been to gym since bro was on that pogo stick. Before I knew that lay it down was real, just knew the go-go shit.
That song for sure got carried by the beat, and then just redveil's charisma made the verse acceptable. Redveil's just not a great rapper to me. He don't have no standout lines. The rhyme schemes ain't nothing crazy. Then on the chorus, when he layered his vocals, the little singy song thing he did at the end of the line, that sounded stupid to me. Beat was pretty tough though. The choir vocals sounded amazing. And then with the drums, I like how he switched that drum pattern like midway through the song, and he switched up the snare as well. The song's like one of them songs that sound better when you're not really listening to it. This is Vanilla Sky.
It's been a minute since I took some time to just chill and hit the lab alone. Normally tag along, so pardon me in case I babble on. No matter what people who know me, like really the real me, it's only a few of you. Whole lot of yes men around me. Telling me, yeah, that's just fire, bro. Trust I could tell when you lying, though.
Don't worry, I won't lie.
They wonder why Jay stays in the club. If the shit gets you hot and I'm taking this drug. Therapist said it's a hole in my chest. I hope one day I'll finally replace it with love. They said that this shit gonna come back to bite you. Be careful.
Karma's the patient and stuff.
Man, on the second half of this album, it's been a lot of decent rappers spitting decent verses. And that's probably fine if I'm listening to like a Kota the Friend or a redveil album or a G-Eazy album. I probably wouldn't. But for them to have like Ab-Soul, Stove God, Cuz, Benny the Butcher, Conway, Ransom, those type of spitters on the album before then, and now 40 minutes in, we getting G-Eazy. I'm not trying to hear 2 minutes of G-Eazy when Stove God Cooks is an option. Like, I mean, it's fine. This is on par with what he raps. Pretty good flow, decent rhyme scheme, regular bars. Beat sounded good, but sequencing wise, it's a listening experience. Now it's starting to sound like a compilation album. You just pick the artist you like. Statik's doing his part, but you gotta be selective with the songs and verses. Or don't, and I'll just roast it. This is Factory with IDK. It don't get better.
I try to stay occupied, cause what they say be truly lies. So if I quit, I truly try. No need to ask me why. I've been fucking crazy hoe. Factory. Crazy hoe. Factory. Crazy hoe. Factory. Crazy hoe. Factory. If it don't go right, he's manipulating. And if he speak his mind, he's a misogynist.
IDK ain't even a rapper I hate, but that's a song that I hate. IDK's he's an okay rapper. He didn't even rap okay on here. This rapping was trash. A lot of cat in the hat, hop on pop, 1-syllable rhyming. This was not it, and that chorus was stupid, dog. When I didn't think it could get worse. Here come Logic. This is In the Pocket. You know what? I'm gonna give Logic a chance. Logic has been really good recently, but some of the projects that he's dropped over his career is unforgivable.
Check.
Yeah. Statik Selektah.
Matter of fact, knowing Logic, he might just imitate all the rappers on this project.
I can really hear it. A little more.
It's a soulful sample. Logic Black Side coming out.
Like a game of 8-ball, it's only one intention. Two-faced hustle is like two countries that's in contention. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck people, I hate them.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt when he put out Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. He must hate us.
Made 7 figures in a day, that's not all. I saved the 8 for last, I'm in a pocket like a 9-ball. Love the rhyme for y'all.
He started with the pool scheme. He said in the pocket like a 9-ball. I like it.
My lyricism goes straight to your dome like it's an 8-ball. I stay with scratch but never in the pocket. My flow is always in the pocket. Static.
Outside of this Wrong Streetz track, this is the best song in the second half of this album. The second half of the album just been real flat compared to the first half. But regardless of my dislike of Logic, that was a hard song, mostly because of the beat. That was one of the better beats on this album. That soul sample was sick. I like the soothing vibe to it. Logic's verse was fine. I'll say it was definitely better than the last 3 people who've been on this album, the G-Eazy, redveil, and IDK verses. I think the technical rhyme scheme left a little bit to be desired, but I liked all the pool wordplay that he mixed into it. Good flows. I rock with that song. Let's close this thing out with Full Circle featuring the Showoff crew.
When the rapping was grimy and the beats was raw, linoleum on the floor and graffiti on the wall. Fast forward now when we all got catalog and been around the world doing shows and tours.
When niggas just rap one syllable together, that jump be making my skin crawling. That's what's going on right now. It's been a lot of that, bro. I ain't listened to one syllable rapping in a minute. I listened to that little Dirt album. He ain't even stooped that low. I'm capping. I stopped listening to that Dirt album like 4 songs in, but I imagine he wasn't rapping one syllable.
Change, we all got kids and cribs, grew up poor, but made sure our children never did show up.
Words limited, blurred images sure to reminisce the urge. When this here track finishes, time served. Sentences benefited from what I observed. Pure proof in the hangover, pain over.
The contrast between that first verse and Rex's verse right here is ridiculous. He's rhyming almost every single syllable in his opening lines.
Kirk Grim Creeper talk, keep it raw for the law. Hardcore recorded in the BX, me and T blessed, and the rest is history. Drink chance for the podcast, symmetry, may I pass, remind y'all.
I recognize these names from other Statik Selektah albums. The only one I'm actually familiar with is Termanology, who I'm not a fan of, and then Rex. He was cold. I don't know what happened to him. He dropped a classic in, I think, like 2009. I think it was a self-titled album. After them, I never heard anything, but his pen was nuts.
Eyes in my rear view, we made classics. Music was never off, we was awake rapping. Up late, 2008, we stayed crafting. Head pounding full circle, like an aspirin. Nowadays, the facts is this. After 16 years, we'll be rapping my bid. There'll be
them in the blows. Fuck it, it's under the rug. Take the good with the bad, the bag and trump out of love. Fill a glass, raise it up for my rub. Rex JFK, term 2, we had to bring it full circle.
Look, man, you can't let your homies be on the album just because they your homies. I mean, that last verse, I don't know who that was, but that was decent. Rex's verse was good, but the other two, and you can say this about most of the people in this second half of this album, did not belong on here. They don't have it. One syllable rapping, choppy flows. I mean, cool, them niggas was rapping in the basement together, but what else? That wasn't it. And overall, this is a frustrating album to get through. So much potential with this track list, but you had some unexcited names to counteract some of the exciting names. And then on top of it, some of the big names on this album who I would expect a lot from didn't bring it. Ransom, not that he was bad, but Ransom wasn't Ransom on this album, in my opinion. Then Boldy James was mad, and God Fahim, even though I don't like him, he's had several fire verses. With him dropping a couple of solid EPs in the last couple of months, I thought we'd get a little bit better from him, but we didn't really. I will say you got some absurd performances on here. Absol was a huge standout. Stove God Cooks lost his mind. Elzhi was the Elzhi we expect. Wu-Tang Clan came with it. Joey Badass had a good verse. And then Statik Selektah was really consistent on this album. Not that I would expect anything else, but I liked pretty much every single beat here. Now, I will say for a 60-minute album, a couple of the piano-heavy beats got a little monotonous to me. But if you view all those in a vacuum, I don't think it was a bad beat on here. But even though the beats were good, I don't think it was enough to save this album. This album was fine. It was okay. It was mediocre. Not because it wasn't any great songs, but just it was too many mid songs counterbalancing the excellent ones. Decent enough album. I think it's like in the 6, 7, 5, 7 out of 10 range. But it's a solid 7 to 8 that's going on the playlist.